And welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Today I want to see if we can't get this interplanetary rescue lander actually successfully launched to Duna. And it seems that first thing off I noticed is that it didn't actually save correctly. Or perhaps I didn't save it during the right part of construction. That's no matter. I want to do a little something here anyway. It would help if I applied the symmetry. Because in some test flights that I made, I noticed that just simply putting some struts between the two tanks supported them and prevented a lot of the problem, or actually all of the problem, with the tanks coming apart in flight. So going to do that. And that should give the ship enough structural integrity to not fly apart in flight. Alright, let's go ahead and finish rebuilding this. Oh, that would be stupid. And we'll put our mainsail engines on there. And let's see. Oh yes. I also want to add separatrons. And let's see. Like so. And like so. To ensure that these stages, which will be separating last, will actually separate at the right time and move away from the ship. That was another issue in some test flights I had, where this outer two stages would separate and oftentimes collide with and destroy the engine in the middle. So we don't want that. All right, now where is this decoupler? It's here. Okay, I think that needs to go into separate stage. Yeah, these separate first, and then these separate, and the separatrons are here. They need to move up there. And that will take care of that. Let's see. Oh yes, there was something else. A little added boost getting off the ground. better at least. Perhaps not perfect, but it should be better. Okay, now we've got stuff going off all over the place. We have our boosters. We have our main engines. We have our central main engine. We have that set of decouplers. And this set of decouplers. So far so good. And then this one. Okay, there was one more thing that I wanted to do here. Increase the available thrust once it's in flight. And we'll take these engines and fire them at the same time as this one. All right, now let's just throw a few struts on here to support this joint in the staging. And a little something here. All of this intended to simply keep this thing together. And then if I've got RCS tanks, then I should have RCS thrusters. All right, that should take care of that. All right. This engine fires at the same time as these two. Fuel from this tank comes up here and feeds these and feeds this. No, you don't come to think of it. Let's get rid of the thrusters. Get rid of the RCS fuel. Throw another half tank here. That should take care of that. I think this should give us a much better chance of making it into orbit in one piece and then successfully arriving at Duna. Whoops, one little detail here. And I will fix that with another ladder there. but without symmetry on that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and throw a MechJet case on here just simply for steering control, a little bit of information. And now we will save this thing and head to the launch pad. Okay, it did just occur to me that there was one critical thing that I forgot. And that is the launch stability enhancers. Drag them down here. Save, and now let's go to the launch pad. All right, we now have Ludlarf Kerman, Bill Kerman, and Welsherby Kerman in the pilot seat today, complete with our fourth crewman capability up there at the top. And so let's go ahead and bring up our orbital information and our phase angle information. All right, now we need phase angle for Duna to be 45 degrees, so we'll warp time ahead right here on the pad. As a matter of fact, I think I'll do that from orbit, otherwise it could get to a really ugly flashing situation. And some folks have a bad problem with flashing and whatnot, so let's avoid that. We'll just warp until we have a Duna phase angle of approximately 45, 44 degrees or something like that. I forget exactly what it's supposed to be, but I know 45 or 44 should be close. And that's the angle between here and here with the sun as the point where the two lines meet. Okay, we're getting close. Okay, 44 and a fraction. I think that'll be good. And of course, we're launching at night. How spectacular. All right. Well, guys, strap yourselves in. Fasten your seat belts. Put your tray tables and seat backs in their upright position. And let's go. Hello. That was not good. All right, let's have a look at our... Oh, good. The decoupler landed intact. All right, let's have a look at our mission report. What failed? Structural linkage between Rockomax fuel tank and radial decoupler. Back to the VAB. Okay, when in doubt, add more struts. This is the Kerbal philosophy of spacecraft design. That was truly impressive, I have to say. Actually, that looks like it ought to be good. Except I should have done it with symmetry turned on. All right. And now we can attempt to duplicate that same pattern over here. And let's anticipate trouble and do the same thing on this side. All right, I'm not certain that's 100% symmetrical, but I think we've got a better shot here, so let's go to the launch pad and see what happens. All right, for this flight we have Ludley Kerman, Ludgard Kerman, and Elizabeth Kerman. Okay, so we'll see what happens here. It's a wonderful way to start off a flight, isn't it? We'll see what happens. All right, SAS on, throttle up, precision controls, and let's go. Okay, it hasn't flown apart yet, so this is good. I'm going to start a slight turn just to get us out from over the launch pad. Throttle back the main engines while the boosters are burning. Booster separation, we'll throttle back up to full power. Booster separation, throttle up, everything looks good. Another separation, everything looks good. We are flying straight and true. Looks good. There's a little bit of a roll that's been induced, but it doesn't seem to have rolled very far, and we're on course. All right, let's get ready to begin our gravity turn. Okay, and here we go. And as we pass through 21,000 or so, we'll switch over to 45 degrees of pitch. Climbing fast, accelerating smoothly. Elizabeth Kerman seems to be enjoying the ride. Ludley and Ludgard are crapping their pants. Separatrons did very nice. Okay, I'm going to get ready to pitch us over to, say, 25 degrees very soon, because our apoapsis is approaching 70 kilometers. And pitching over. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and start pitching horizontal. Let's have a look at our orbit. Shaping up nicely, and Stretching out nicely. Very good. In fact, I'm going to give us a negative 10-degree pitch now to keep the apoapsis from climbing too awfully high. We want to bring the periapsis up. It looks like the struts between the tanks have done the job of adding the needed stability. Periapsis is coming up quickly. Upper stage engines are lit. We're burning fuel from that tank and that one. Good grief. Oh well. Disable flow from that one. We don't need flow from it until we arrive at Duna. Periapsis is coming up quickly now. Let's go to minus 20 degrees. Because we really want to try to keep the apoapsis from getting too high. I actually want to keep this orbit kind of low so that we can get the maximum benefit from the Oberth effect when making the burn for Duna. And basically the Oberth effect in plain terms means that the closer you are to a gravitational source, the deeper inside the gravity well, the more effect your engines are going to have when making a burn for a escape or trans-ejection, something like that. Okay. We have a periapsis 74, apoapsis of 149. That's good right there all by itself. See, our angle to prograde is 20 degrees, which means we're up here. And yeah, okay, what we want to be, our position, we want our angle, we want to be down here, right around the day-night terminator as it heads to sunset. So, let's get in some time warp. What do you mean ship is under acceleration? It is not, thank you very much. Okay, so we'll just time warp around to our ejection point. Which I believe is right about here. As a matter of fact, yes, I believe so. All right. Swing around prograde. And get in position to burn. All right, smartass can hold prograde, and we will burn. We only want to be using this fuel. Those others we'll need for landing and liftoff and return. Not exactly sure how it worked out that way. I thought my plumbing arrangement with the fuel lines was good enough to take care of that, but apparently not. And now, even with 3 of these nuclear engines burning, it's still going to take us a while to reach Kerbal escape velocity. Our orbit is stretching out. Orbital speed is increasing, and we've got a little ways to go. This is probably going to be a fairly slow burn. But this lowermost tank of fuel will more than likely, well, frankly, we'll still be using it when we arrive in Duna orbit. I'm confident of that. Okay, we don't need our phase angles anymore. Okay. Orbit is stretching out slowly and a little bit more quickly with each passing second. We still have oodles of fuel. We're getting a good benefit from boosting way down here, because velocity change made here will have the greatest effect out here because we're this close into the planet, which is essentially what the Olbers effect is. I do know the actual definition of that, but I honestly can't remember it right this minute. But I don't suppose it's that important. The main thing is we know how to use it. Okay, I'm going to back off these engines just a little bit because we're getting some overheat on this one. The overheat on this one was the most important. It was getting high enough to be an explosion risk, and we don't need that. We've had enough troubles with this mission already as it is. Okay, getting out here, we should be seeing a potential moon encounter, perhaps? Given where the moon is now, maybe. The most important thing, though, it'll be crossing the moon's orbit. And here we go. Heading out towards the orbit of Minmus. Ah, there is a couple or 3 moon encounters in there, it looked like. But, of course, we've blown right by them. We're looking for Kerbal escape. There we are. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and continue the burn. And look for a Minmus and a Duna encounter. Up probably around here. Getting close. Slowing down the acceleration a little bit. I'd rather throttle back the engines and take longer than to overshoot. Duna encounter should be coming up soon. Okay, I'm going to be hopeful that I haven't just kind of blown that possibility entirely to pieces. And let's see, we still have a little over half of our main fuel left. All right, let's go ahead and get out to this change of sphere of influence change here, where we get out and into actual solar orbit. Warp time ahead. All right, now let's have a look at this on a solar scale. Whole prograde. And I'm really hoping I haven't blown by it. I don't think so. Because this patched conic system would have displayed it. Let's have a look here. Our orbit is in exactly the right plane, so that's not the problem. Is it possible that I have overshot? Yeah, I suppose so. I really don't want to burn fuel turning retrograde to undo a lot of what I've just done. So I'm going to accelerate time. We're going to move ahead and see what happens. Come to think of it, I do believe we can do a little maneuver here, change our orbit a little bit. If I assume the position of Rad Plus, which will put us with our engine facing the sun, thrust directly out from the sun, we can bring our orbit out and have our encounter on this side of the orbit instead of way over there where I think it probably would have been. So let's give that a shot. Looking for an encounter around here or over there. I don't care which. If it happens either way, that's good. A little bit of physics time acceleration. We have an encounter right here in 20 days. Much better. Certainly beats spending the better part of a year going around the sun. Granted, we've spent a lot of fuel doing that, but that's all right. We have a lot of fuel. Okay, that means that Duna is in that direction. Let's warp time ahead and get closer to this encounter so that we can see it better. All right, now let's have a closer look at this encounter. Periapsis 17,000 kilometers. Not bad, actually. All right, let's go ahead and close in on that. Get ready to do a lot of braking quickly to decelerate into Duna orbit. All right. Okay, now we need our retrograde position. And there's Duna. Retrograde, you nimwit. All right. Okay. I think I need to go ahead and be careful of the fuel. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and get closer to the periapsis where we'll have more effect. All right, now let's do a retro burn and turn this into a curve that will orbit Duna. Okay. And again with a little bit of physics time warp to speed this up. Okay. We're going to end up burning this fuel out. But when it does, we can stage that away and shave a lot of weight off the ship. Remove a lot of mass, and that way we won't have to thrust against quite so much. Almost out of fuel. Okay. I'll just go ahead and stage that away and continue our deceleration. This is definitely going to take a while. Okay, more physics time acceleration. What is going on here? I enabled the fuel flow. Why is it not flowing? It flowed freely earlier during the initial part of the flight where I had to disable it. Well, everybody on the ship is fairly calm. Apparently they haven't realized their situation yet. Ah, well, that was stupid. The parachutes are activated. If they ever sense the need to deploy, they will. And so here we are with nearly 3,000 liters of fuel, and it's not going anywhere. In those immortal words, fix your game, Jeb. Okay. This ship is not going to encounter Duna. It has come as close as it's going to. It's going to fly away and continue on this currently yellow orbit. And it will probably not encounter Kerbal again either. In fact, I know it won't. It's not close enough. Never mind positioning. So in the Houston we have a problem department, we have a problem. We'll see if we can't figure out a way to solve that problem. If not for this particular ship and crew, then certainly for a future one. And that will be in a future video. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I'm out of here.